Hello, my beautiful people. This is Kristen. I am here today to do my February book reviews. I'm a couple days late. It's actually into March already, but that's okay because they're still my thoughts on these particular books, and if you are interested in any of them, hopefully this will be helpful. I did spend actually 2 months, January and February, reading The Count of Monte Cristo. It is a classic that I had seen the movie, and I think maybe I had read some abridged version of previously, but I have definitely never read the full version. It is over 1,200 pages, and so I have to confess that at times I got a little confused on the characters and the different complex storylines that were going on. I had to go back a couple times and check who the character was that we had switched to, but then it was written so clever, I would be surprised at the plot twist of what the Count had come up with for his revenge. I don't think it's a spoiler that most people know this is a story of a young man who is wrongfully imprisoned, manages an awesome escape, and the book is about revenge and plotting against those who harmed him and kind of a treasure hunt, and it's just a really fun adventure that was worth reading. I don't know that I will ever reread it, but possibly. It was a fun book that I recommend if you are particularly into the kind of suspense thriller classic. This is a good one. The next book is my favorite one that I read for the month. It also, my prediction is it will make one of my top books of the year, and that was The Library Book by Susan Orlean. This is a nonfiction book. She goes into studying and researching a fire of Los Angeles library back in April of 1986. It is told as part history, checking out the responsibility of what happened that day, interviewing the librarians, a lot of history even previous about how libraries are run or set up, and it was just a fascinating journey. If you like books or you're at all interested in the library as either a entity and system of how it's run, and also kind of, I did not realize until reading this book what a wonderful service the library is. Particularly before the days of easy access internet, where people would come just to get out of the weather or to have some really hard life problems solved, that librarians were kind of therapists as well. And if I can find a beginning of a chapter, my favorite part about this book is at the beginning of every chapter, there was a list of books with their library address, if you will. And it was fascinating to me. I thought that was so clever because I would read them over, I would read the chapter, and then I'd go back to see how those books tied into the information of that chapter. And it was just really interesting and clever, and I really enjoyed this. I think it's a beautiful binding. This is going to be a definite book that I keep, that I definitely want to read this again and just kind of keep up with my love of books and library, and I want to check out some other books by her to see what other topics she has delved into. So this one I highly recommend for anybody who has a love of books or just a love of history of that kind of event and service that libraries actually provide. This book is a little bit of a cheat, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, because I technically just finished it in March. I have not seen the movie, and the newest movie, The Hornet Nest, I believe that one is, the trailer looked really good, and I said, gosh darn it, I need to read those books, because I'm one of those people that likes to read the books before the movie, and this book is really good. It is definitely a little fast-paced and has a lot going on. We follow Lisbeth, who is a girl brought up in the foster care system, had a lot of mistreatment, and kind of claims her own empowerment and kind of becomes kind of like the Laura Croft of the investigating hacker world. And so I look forward to reading the other books about her and her life. This one follows a company that has a competition corporation, and they're kind of pitted against each other, and the one's trying to uncover the other one's corruption and expose them, and there's a lot of legal battle, and then there's a lot of undercover shadiness, and then there's a mystery of a family on an island with a 40-year-old unsolved murder mystery that starts tracking what appears to be a series of strange and frightening events. So a little gruesome, a little hard hitting. So if that doesn't bother you and you like a lot of fast-paced adventure, this is good. I'm looking forward to reading another one, hopefully this month. And my last one is, since February's Valentine's and Romance, I read the second one, Nora Roberts in her trilogy, the Irish trilogy, Tears of the Moon. This is a steamy, romantic, cute novel set in Ireland, which I'm particularly fond of. So, you know, you just want to go down to the pub and grab you a pint and sit around and talk about the locals. And there's a series of two brothers and a sister that kind of own the pub, and so there's a series of three, one about each of them, that goes into their romance, and there is a fairy who is trying to break a long-standing curse by connecting couples in love. So it's just fun. It's not super, you know, amazing with a literary kind of thing, but if you like romances and you're not a big romance person, because I'm really not, but this is fun because I like that element of fantasy kind of tossed in there with the Ireland setting. So I probably will try to read the third one this month and knock out the rest of that series, and then I'll probably not read very much romance except for maybe a light beach read this summer. So those are the 4 books that I read in the month of February. I hope to get some more reading done in March, and look forward to reading your comments if you've read any of these books or you have any that are similar that you think I should check out. Thank y'all very much. You have a blessed day.